The Batman opening scene takes place on Halloween night. This is a direct reference to the Jeff Loeb, Tim Sale graphic novel Batman Long Halloween, where a serial killer is murdering victims on holidays, starting with, of course, Halloween. The main villain of the new film, the Riddler, is much darker compared to the previous live-action adaptation of the spandex-wearing prankster from the 1995 film Batman Forever, which starred Jim Carrey as the enigmatic antagonist. Director Matt Reeves has stated that this Riddler was inspired by the real-life Zodiac killer who operated in Northern California in the late 1960s. From the costume design of Paul Dano's Riddler to the cryptic cipher sent to Batman throughout the film, you can clearly see the Zodiac killer influence on display. The film also bears a striking similarity in look and tone to the 2007 film Zodiac and the 1995 film Seven, both directed by David Fincher. Only an eagle-eyed fan could catch this amazing Easter egg. At just 30 minutes into the movie, the villain's secret location is already revealed, but nearly everyone missed it. Look closely at the top left of the frame and you can see an apartment with the lights on, with someone sitting inside who appears to be watching out the window. This apartment belongs to Paul Dano's Riddler, hiding in plain sight in his apartment overlooking the Iceberg Lounge. Although never seen on screen, gangster Salvatore Maroni is mentioned several times throughout the film, and if you look closely during the first crime scene, you'll notice a newspaper clipping framed on the wall with the line "Maroni Drug Bust." Maroni might not be a recognizable name to fans, but he was directly responsible for helping create one of Batman's most iconic villains, as he was one who threw acid into the face of District Attorney Harvey Dent, which led him to become better known as Two-Face. In the opening shot of the film, the camera angle is from the point of view of a pair of binoculars looking through someone's windows. There's a young boy dressed up as a ninja, playing with a sword, which has a similar feeling to when the Wayne family sees Zorro as Bruce mimics the Masked Avenger just before his parents are murdered in Crime Alley. The scene also feels like it's Batman doing the spying, but it turns out to be the Riddler just before he commits the first of several murders. There's a very similar scene later on in the film of Bruce watching Selina through a pair of binoculars, making a parallel reference between the hero and villain using similar methods of surveillance techniques. The new film takes place in year 2 of Bruce parading around at night dressed as the Batman, but the film draws heavily from the Frank Miller, David Mazzucchelli iconic graphic novel Batman Year 1. A major similarity between the book and the film is that Batman is still new to his war on crime, but also the relationship between Batman and Detective Jim Gordon, as the two are still learning to trust one another. Another aspect of the graphic novel that shines through is the depiction of Selina Kyle with her short haircut and cat burglar costume design. Matt Reeves stated that Year 1 was one of the main comic influences for the film, but they wanted to skip the origin story and have Batman already established in Gotham City. The film uses Batman Year 1 as inspiration in other places, like the confrontation between Selina Kyle and Carmine Falcone. Selina scratches Falcone's face, leaving 3 bloody marks from her nails. The same thing occurs in the graphic novel, but their relationship has been altered drastically for the film, with Falcone revealed to be Selina's father. Blink and you'll miss this reference to one of Robert Pattinson's previous films. On Halloween night, before we're introduced to Batman for the first time, we see a criminal wearing a drop head mask and a red jacket. The criminal goes to rob a convenience store called Good Time. This is a sneaky little reference to the 2017 film Good Time, in which Pattinson starred as a criminal who robs a bank wearing a red jacket. Although a small detail, this is the first Batman film to show Bruce wearing eyeliner under the cowl. All the previous Batman have donned eyeliner, but when they removed the cowl, the eyeliner magically disappeared. This helps ground the version of the character in reality as opposed to the previous, more comic booky versions we've seen in the past. The film laid the groundwork for incorporating another one of Batman's rogues gallery who's never appeared in a live-action film before, with the word Hush being spray-painted across a photo of Thomas Wayne. Hush is also referring to Thomas Elliot, a family friend of the Waynes who later goes on to become the villain in another one of Jeff Loeb's graphic novels, Batman Hush. The character Hush would go on to become his own villain, leading many fans to speculate a forthcoming appearance in the unannounced sequel. The villain also has made an appearance in the CW series Batwoman. Another direct nod to the comics comes near the end of the film when Batman takes on a militia group dressed as the Riddler. After taking several rifle rounds to his body armor, Batman nearly blacks out. But when Selina is about to be killed, Batman digs into his utility belt and pulls out a glowing green vial, which he jabs into his suit, giving him a short burst of rage to brutally take down the bad guy. This likely is the film's version of Venom, the powerful drug that gives the Batman rogue Bane his superhuman strength. In the comics, Bruce becomes temporarily addicted to the Venom drug before realizing its negative effects on his judgment. The film makes use of the Nirvana song Something in the Way that was used in the trailers. The song parallels events in the film, such as the line, "And the animals I've trapped have all become my pets," referring to how the Riddler has trapped the people of Gotham by causing citywide floods. Matt Reeves, the director, has also stated that Kurt Cobain was an inspiration when shaping his version of the Batman character, stating, "This guy is some kind of wayward, reckless drug addict?" And the truth is that he is a kind of drug addict. His drug is his addiction to this drive for revenge. The end of the film sees the Riddler's plans come to fruition, with a dozen bombs detonating in the city flooding. This is a call out to the graphic novel Batman No Man's Land, where Gotham is struck by a cataclysmic earthquake, leaving Gotham in ruins and marked as a period of rebuilding in Gotham City. The film echoes this in Bruce's final monologue, where he realizes he needs to become something better if he's really going to make a difference in helping Gotham instead of inspiring its villains. The Riddler shares a brief scene locked up in Arkham Asylum with none other than the Joker. The two share a laugh together about becoming friends. This has the potential to set up a villainous team-up that has ties to another more recent comic arc, Batman War of Jokes and Riddles, where the two villains formed an alliance to take down the Batman, but of course their egos get in the way of their ultimate victory. In a newly released deleted scene, Batman arrives at Arkham Asylum to speak to the Joker. We can learn that it's nearing their one-year anniversary, and judging by the Joker's appearance, we can assume there was some sort of accident that involved a vat of acid. The Joker, more horrific than ever, takes a case file from Batman, but you probably didn't catch the missing paperclips on the file when the Joker gives them back, possibly hinting to the Clown Prince of Crime's ultimate escape plan from the asylum. In Batman's entrance to the film, he beats down a gang of crooks with their faces painted like skulls. The youngest member of the gang has only half his face painted, hinting that this is his initiation to be a full member of the gang. The actor playing the part is also part of the Bat family on another show. Jay Lycurgo plays Tim Drake, also known as Robin, in the HBO Max series Titans. During the film, the Riddler addresses several cards to Batman. Each has a different cartoon on it, possibly referring to other villains in the Rogues Gallery, but the one that stands out the most is the one with an owl on the cover. This may not seem like a big deal, but to a true Batman fan, the image of the owl will immediately make them think of the new 52 Batman series that launched in 2011 with its now famous Court of Owls arc, where Bruce realizes that Gotham has a much darker history than he ever realized. The Court of Owls have controlled Gotham for decades, and Batman becomes their plaything. When Batman first appears after beating one of the Skull Gang members senseless, he says, "I'm Vengeance," a nod to the Batman animated series voiced by Kevin Conroy, where he would famously say, "I am Vengeance, I am the Knight, I am Batman," but also a reference to the Jeff Johns Gary Frank graphic novel Batman Earth 1, which takes place early in Batman's career and takes a more grounded approach to the character. Batman's grappling gun is different in this film than any others because it's connected to his gauntlet as opposed to a device he wears on his belt. An interesting thing about the design is that it bears a striking similarity to another film, Taxi Driver, in which Robert De Niro fashions a gun he can wear up his sleeve. Interestingly, another recent movie in the DC universe also pulled heavily from Martin Scorsese's 70s classic. The 2019 film Joker contains numerous references to Taxi Driver and even has a character make Travis Bickle's famous finger-to-the-head motion from the end of the movie. This film positions itself as year 2 for Batman, but also serves as an origin for several of his rogues gallery, the Penguin being one of them. He's still a lowly criminal unrespected by Carmine Falcone, but by the end of the film we see Penguin is ready to fill the void that Falcone is leaving behind. This is setting up a spin-off series on HBO Max that will star Colin Farrell as the Penguin and his rise in the criminal underworld. Along with the Penguin spin-off, there's a confirmed Arkham Asylum spin-off which will make fans of the Batman video game of the same name very excited. Also rumored is a Catwoman spin-off that would follow Zoe Kravitz's Catwoman and her possible return to Gotham. The last scene of the film takes place in a cemetery and is a goodbye between Batman and Selina for now. She asks Batman to come with her to Bloodhaven, a fictional city in the comics and also where former Robin and Nightwing Dick Grayson resides when he isn't fighting crime at Batman's side. I hope you liked the video and found some things you missed the first time in The Batman. Let us know what movie we should do next, and make sure you subscribe to Movie Logic for more daily movie facts, trivia, and Easter eggs.